All right. Can you please introduce yourself? Let everybody know who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Hi, I'm Christal Pennic. I am a native Nashvillian, a grief therapist, and I own the Grief Center here in Nashville. And we partner with the Griefspot podcast, and it stands for Grieve in Peace while picking up the pieces of our lives.
How long have you been doing this work?
Oh my gosh, I have been doing this work officially for 5 years, but solo and group practice for about 3 years.
And what got you into it?
Oh my goodness. I have a personal story of grief. My brother died when I was 14 years old. And from that journey, that very long journey, I learned that there's systems that are not in place for people like me in grief.
And
Mhm.
so getting into this space, what has been one of the most challenging things for you?
Oh my goodness. People don't want to talk about grief. So that has somewhat been a challenge, but it's also been my best thing to be able to talk and educate people about grief. That it's not just physical death or bereavement, it can be any life change, any transition, anything, even from moves to new babies or even a marriage.
Interesting. Yeah, so that kind of expands our definition of the way we think about grief in general.
Yes, most definitely.
Very nice. What's been something that you've had to personally unlearn from yourself in your life to do this job
Oh my goodness.
effectively?
That therapy is never over. I can graduate from one level of therapy for myself and I have to take care of myself while taking care of other people, but it's never over. So I have been able to get in back into therapy and even with some other therapists. So being able to have different type of therapists throughout your grief journey as well as throughout your life is important. Not every therapist knows how to handle trauma or grief or somebody who's an entrepreneur. So I was able to get me somebody who, previously my previous therapist would not have been able to handle that person.
Wow. And so getting into something like this, grief, it's really personal and you're
Mhm.
making it a business.
Yes.
What are some challenges you've kind of gone through from like kind of balancing the personal side of
Oof.
this business?
Yes. Yes. Most definitely. The balance is trying to figure out what the balance is.
Mm.
And taking care of self and being able to turn it off sometimes because there's times where people ask me, well, what do you do for fun? I'm like, grief. And so it's really good to be able to structure some time away from my desk, away from the topic of grief, even though I get excited talking about grief, but being able to have an outside life.
Interesting. The balance with that's my next point is it's interesting to think about therapists and people
Yeah.
who do trauma related care for a
Yes.
living,
Yeah.
what that looks like and what that means for you outside of your work, that balance. Do you
Yes.
ever experience post traumatic secondary stress? Is that what it's called? I always say
Yes,
it
it's
wrong.
vicarious trauma.
Mm.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And I previously worked for Metro Nashville Police Department, and there was a lot of stories. And some of the times, it's when we are in normal conversations with people, we don't always get like the shock factor because I have seen and heard so many stories that are, kind of turmoil, or even just traumatic. But it's like there are times where I have to be like, whew, that was a lot.
Mhm.
Let me make sure my nervous system is okay. Let me make sure that my nervous system is not activated. So there's got to be some calm down things coming in the car on my way home.
Oh my goodness. Um, so as you move forward and you think about where you started in this journey,
Yeah.
the direction you're going, what does this say about who you are becoming?
Oh gosh. I love this woman that I'm becoming. And that's a really good question. I love that. And it's so layered that I'm presenting as someone open, but also I'm not the person I was even 6 months ago. So this journey has been a challenge, but it's also been spiritual for me as well. And I can see where God's hand is in my purpose, is in my mission. Even though it's hard, it's challenging. People don't want to go in this field. I believe it's one of those things of here am I, send me.
Amazing. Where can everyone follow you in your work?
Oh, you can look at online at thegriefcenterheals.org. That is our website. That is the Grief Center, Grief Center, CENTER, heals, HEALS.org. And the Griefspot podcast, you could do THETRIPSPOT.com.
RESPECT.
Yeah, find out what it means.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.